Alright, so I pulled these 2 chicken thighs with the legs that I had left from when I cooked these the other day. I made one for myself and one for my daughter. My daughter didn't end up eating hers, and so there's 2 left over. I did save the bones from the one I ate because I knew I was going to do this. And so I'm going to take all the meat off of these chicken thighs and legs, throw the bones in the pot. I'm going to save the meat, and we're going to make a chicken broth with the bones. And I'm going to make a nice chicken soup for dinner tonight, made with homemade bone broth. Okay, so I pulled off and cleaned all the chicken. That's all dark meat chicken, and dark meat has a lot of flavor, so never be afraid to go with the cheaper chicken thighs and legs if you're going to cook soup. That's all the bones, the weird stuff, some skin, everything. Put in there. And then next I'm going to fill it up with water. Okay, so I had a great big carrot. I cut it in half. I'm going to save half the carrot for the soup. And then this is going to be for the broth. I just rough cut it in some chunks. And I'm going to let that simmer with the bones and everything. I'm going to do that with a piece of celery too. Alright, so I'm going to add that. And then I'm also going to add some minced onion. So I'm going to get this up to, we don't want to boil this. So that's the number one mistake that people make when they try to make bone broth, is they boil the heck out of it and then it gets all bitter. And so what you want to do is you want to keep your broth at a gentle simmer and just let it go all day. The water will evaporate, so you can add a little bit more. But a gentle simmer is just a little bit of bubbles right around the side. So on my oven goes from low to high, 1 to 10. So I would probably put it around a 3 or something like that as it's cooking. So all of this is going to cook together, and I might add a little bit more water. And once it's done releasing all the flavors, all the kind of cartilage and stuff will melt away. The ends of the bones might pop and some of the marrow might come out. It sounds gross, but it's actually really good for you. And that will all happen kind of in slow-mo as this is going to be cooking all day long. And if you keep your bones for, like, if you have a rotisserie chicken, anything like that, if you keep your bones, you already have free bone broth. You just got to make it. Alright, so next I'm going to add some apple cider vinegar. I'm just going to add a little bit. This will help the bones break down. And then I'm also going to add, I love this salt and pepper supreme mix. So if you shop, I'm from Minneapolis, South Minneapolis. If you shop at Cub Foods, over by the produce section, they have these big containers of store brand spices, and it's just a really good deal. And this salt and pepper supreme is salt, pepper, a little bit of sugar, and garlic. I'm going to add some garlic powder too. The chicken itself, the skin, had a bunch of herbs on it that was cooked with it, and that's all in here too. So I'm adding the skin for a little bit, and then I will eventually pull it out. just for some flavor. All right, it's set to go. It's gonna be cooking all day. All right, so this is a perfect example of the simmer I'm talking about. If you look, there's agitation in the water. There's a little bit of bubbles collected around the side. So you for sure don't want a hard boil. You want it gentle like this. All right, so that's how you make bone broth. I'll update it later with the rest of the soup. Okay, so here's the broth so far. So I tasted it and it tastes so good. And I just talked to my daughter and I'm not gonna let this cook any longer. So this is what this all looks like. I have the broth here. It tastes really good. So you can see the ends of the bones will start to kind of disintegrate away. You can kind of see at the edge of that bone. And all of that minerals and nutrients and stuff are in this broth. So now I'm going to run it through a strainer. All right, so I have everything ready. So what I'm going to do first is just kind of take out the big pieces. And these will go directly into the garbage. The carrots you can eat if you want. They're actually probably really good. If you go for longer, they'll probably be very mushy and not very flavorful. All the flavor is already in the broth. So I'm going to get all the big chunks out and then run the rest of the stuff through the strainer. Okay, so I have a bowl here. I poured everything from the pot into the strainer, and then I rinsed my pot out. So I'm going to lift it up and all that stuff stays there, and there's the gold right there. So I'm going to pour this back into the pot. Okay, so we decided we want chicken enchilada soup. And so I had this leftover enchilada sauce that I made in the freezer. I'm going to take this out and put it in the broth right now and get that going. And then this is some other stuff I'm going to add to the soup. And I'm also going to add some vegetables. All right, so the frozen enchilada sauce is in there. It's starting to melt. Oh my God, it smells so good already. I turn the heat up and I'm gonna start cutting veggies. All right, so here's all the veggies. I'm adding a little bit of corn, frozen corn, and that's what we have for the soup. Okay, so the sauce is all melted in. I have all this stuff. That's all good. I'm debating whether or not to put the rice in. I don't even know if we'll need it. We'll see. I'm going to add the beans and the chilies next. All right, so here comes the black beans. I drained the beans. And then here comes the diced green chilies. I did not drain these. You want that juice. Whatever juice is in there is flavor. All right, yeah, I think I'm gonna skip the rice. I think this is pretty good. Well, maybe I'll add a little. Let's add a little. Okay, so this rice already has seasoning in it. So we're just gonna add just a little bit. There we go. Perfect. Soup's on. All right, so I'm gonna put some minced onion in now. And when I serve this, I'm gonna serve it with fresh garlic chives from the garden. So there'll be that onion chivey flavor too, sprinkled in, but it'll be a fresh little crunch. Oh my God, it looks so good. So here I am in the garden. Here's a little garden update. Here's my carrots. I've gotten a lot of rain, my arugula. Look at these. Jalapenos are starting to come, see it? So what I'm here for is the garlic chives. And actually, I think I have a pepper, but I'm gonna decide if I'm gonna get it for the soup or not. So when you pull a garlic chive, what you're trying to get it by the root. There we go. I'm gonna pull these too. The root broke off in there. So this is what sometimes happens, and that's totally okay. These are 100% edible still. But what's going to happen is, see that? There's this yummy sweet part here that stayed in the ground. But it's here too, so that's okay. I'm going to go wash these, chop them, and get them ready for the soup. So check out all my beans, and I have some peas up in here too. Hello, darling. Little pea flower. But also in here, where are you, dude? There you are. Nice pepper. This is a sweet pepper. So I'm gonna pick it, I'm gonna throw it in the pot. Of course, the first pepper from the garden. Oh my God, it looks so good. Let's give it a stir. I wish we had smell-o-vision. Doesn't that look good? Oh my God. So right in the end, I'm going to throw in this can of stewed tomatoes. I get these kind with garlic, oregano, and basil. And if you look, they're like big hunks of tomato. So I'm adding them a little bit later so they're not super duper duper mushy. Perfect addition. All right, so here's the soup. I'm gonna add a little cheddar. I'm gonna add a little bit of these garlic chives. And I don't have any sour cream, but I have this kefir. I call it kefir. I have no idea how you pronounce it. So I'm gonna, and it tastes just like sour cream. So I'm gonna put